Hare Krishna, we'll start in a few minutes, so please hang on.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Anybody new here?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण नाम संदेश बोल।
And what is? I think we'll go and fix it. Still, we are not able to hear. So let me fix that. Hold for a few minutes.
You sent. I have already done it.
No, there are around 16 to get
No,
charged.
they sent it. I'm joining the same. Another million.
Okay, now it's
Yes, only sent one copy.
many are
Hear the-
No, my bad.
Okay. Today is the fourth session I am proceeding with. Last session. Aim of life.
Prabhu, please share your video.
Yeah, I have to share my screen. Yeah, just a minute. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In this world, everybody is attracted to someone or something. You will always see that. Even those people who say they are not attracted to God, they have to be attracted to some member of the opposite sex. Or they'll be attracted to puppy dog. Or they'll be attracted to someone or something. Nobody can say they are not attracted to anything. For example, in India, people are very fond of cricket. They are attracted to cricket stars. And there are others who are attracted to Hollywood, Bollywood stars. If you go to the rooms of hostel students, sometimes you find a big poster of some cinema actor or actress, you will find. Naturally, it's obvious that they are attracted to them. Otherwise, why are they putting a big poster? So nobody can say that they are free from all attractions. So this is the very first thing I'm going to discuss here today about the attraction principle. Attraction is like a magnetic attraction. You will see an ant, even if there's a 20-story building, the ant will go to the 20th story if he finds a sugar particle there. It has a nose, able to smell and detect where is the sugar. It has attraction. Some time ago, I had gone to one cow barn. So I was trying to feed the cows some green grass, and they came and saw and they turned away. They were not interested because they get it very cheaply, very easily. So much grass is available for them inside. Then the cow boy, he brought some, good. Good means that jaggery. So when he showed the jaggery, they came running. There's a big competition amongst the cows. Who will get that jaggery? Which means every living being has attraction for something. Cows have attraction for jaggery. Ants have attraction for a sugar cube. Similarly, everybody has attraction for something. So there is a magnetic attraction that is observed in this world and every living being towards something. Where is the attraction coming from? Let's see. Who attracts us in this world? If anyone is beautiful or strong or wealthy, they attract us. Why? Because actually these opulences originally exist in God in oceanic quantity. But in this world, they only appear in a small fraction of it. Like for example, you have seen the night glowworm, The glowworm can only, show off till the dark night continues. When the sun shines in the east, the glowworm has no more value. Similarly, in this world also, people who manifest beauty for some time, when they get old, that beauty doesn't remain. It goes away. The tooth one by one falls away, and the face becomes wrinkled. The hair also turns white. The beauty goes away. Whereas in God, the beauty never fades. It is everlasting beauty. Oceanic beauty, not in a small proportion, in vast proportion. Same way with strength, you see here below Krishna lifting over the hill. In this world, somebody may lift 100 pounds, 120 pounds, 150 pounds, 200 pounds. But when God lifts, he lifts the mountain. His strength never diminishes. If you see Mike Tyson, for example, or Muhammad Ali and all, they had a lot of strength. But as they got older, the strength gradually fell away. Then they became weak, and they became 60, 70, 80. That means strength increases and it goes down. Beauty increases, it goes down. You will see in this world. Whereas in God, it never diminishes. And he possesses it in oceanic proportion. That's the definition of Bhagavan. The word Bhaga means 6 opulences. All beauty, all wealth, all knowledge. Shakti, it is said Shakti, Bala, Virya, Jnana, Teja, like that. The different opulences are mentioned here. So this is what actually makes God attractive to everybody. You will see that if somebody possesses extraordinary beauty, everybody turns towards them. Correct, no? Similarly, if a very wealthy man comes, everybody respects him. You can see that. Similarly, if a very intelligent genius, like a genius of the century, Einstein, the whole world is charmed by such intelligence. So each of these opulences is individually attractive. And if somebody possesses all these things in one person, you can imagine how attractive it is. And therefore, what they do in cinema movies, they superimpose these opulences in one person. For example, a cinema actress, she has a beautiful face cut, but they will put some good singer like Lata Mangeshkar behind. So they add the music, and then they will also show her like a person of very good behavior, very good character. So when you mix these 6 opulences in one person, they become very attractive. That's what they do. But actually in this world, all these opulences don't appear in one person in this world. You can see that. Somebody is very handsome, but they have no brain substance. Or somebody is very intelligent, but they are not very good looking. You can see that. Somebody's name is Sundara Gopal, but he is ugly. Somebody's name is Lakshmipati, but he is beggar. So the names don't match with their qualities. But in God, they match completely. That's the point. And because we are also part and parcel of God, we also possess God's qualities, but in a minute proportion, small proportion. So Bhagavan means this is the meaning. See, somebody is Lakpati, somebody is Karodpati, somebody is Harapati, Lord is Lakshmipati, which means he is the master of goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, which means all the wealth of all the millions of universes belong to him. See, even on the surface of the globe, the richest man can't say that he will be always richest. Bill Gates was the richest man, but now another fellow has taken over. What's his name? Yeah. Who?
Jeff Bezos or Elon.
Jeff Bezos was the one next to, after Bill Gates, he was the one. Who was the third one?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah, rising star.
So that keeps changing. But God's position is unchangeable. Can anybody else become Lakshmipati? Nobody else can become Lakshmipati. He will be the only Lakshmipati. That's an unrivaled position. That's the speciality. See here, in this world, these are the opulences that attract people. Beauty, wealth, knowledge, strength, fame, renunciation. All these 6 opulences are present in one person, he is Bhagavan. So in the Gita, 15th chapter, Lord Krishna explains that this material world is compared to an upside down tree. Have you ever seen an upside down tree? Urdhamulam adaka shakham ashwattam praguravjayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavit. In Gita, 14th chapter, 1st sloka, he says that in this world, also the 6 opulences are seen, but they are like the reflection tree. See, there's a real mango in the real tree, and there is a reflection mango in the reflection tree. Although the reflection mango seems like mango, if you dive into the water, you will only hit your head. You won't get the mango inside the water because it's only reflection. But the real mango can be tasted. So the opulences are real and oceanic in the supreme, whereas the minute opulences appear and disappear in the reflection world. The material world is compared to the perverted reflection. Here you can see his beauty, his wealth, his knowledge. Actually, I have shown that the wealth I have shown Dwarka, king of Dwarka. He has oceanic knowledge. He gives Bhagavad-Gita, which is read and glorified even after 5,000 years. Strength, fame. So I'm not speaking on each of these, it will take time. But this is the definition of Bhagavan, I told you just now. In Gita, Krishna says, wherever in this world you find in living beings, any one of these opulences in some proportion, know that it is a spark of my splendor. It is God's tiny spark. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi, he says. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. And he also says, balam balavatam chaham. I am the strength of the strong. That means I give the strength, I give the intelligence to all living beings, he says. So till now we heard about the attraction principle. And why? What is the purpose of this discussion? I will tell you what we did till now. If we are not attracted to God, we become attracted to a dog. You will see that in this world. There are so many people walking the dog, taking some container behind the dog. It may pass stool anytime. They are serving the dog, if you see. Because I heard that if it passes stool somewhere, they have to pay a fine. So people don't want to pay the fine, so they carry something behind the dog. So you can see that in this world, everybody is serving somebody. If we don't serve God, then we'll be attracted to somebody else. So you have to settle in your life with some perishable body. There are so many boys who are chasing after girls, but the girls' bodies will not remain as beautiful as it is right now. It's only a matter of time, it will fade away, the beauty will be gone. But that means we settle for reflection mango. We don't go for the real mango. So God is like the real mango, the real attraction. So many kings and many sages have developed a deep attraction for the Supreme. And those who don't develop attraction for the Supreme, they go for something, they settle for something temporary, material, perishable. So the second principle we are going ahead is boss and das principle, very, very important one. So the Supreme Lord is the boss and we are his das. You will see that in any place you go, there is a master, there is a servant. For example, you are working in a company, you have to please your boss. Only then you can get promotion. In a college, the children have to please the teacher. Only then they can get good marks. At home, children have to please their parents also. So we all have somebody to be accountable to serve. In the spiritual world, God is the Supreme Person and all the souls are his eternal servants. See, the parts get nourished by serving the whole. All of you think of your own body. You see, the leg goes to a hotel. The hand picks up the food. The nose smells the food. The teeth crushes the food. The tongue tastes the food. All of them are serving, but they all are serving one person ultimately. Who is it? The belly. But after why do they serve the belly? Because belly later on turns the food into blood and circulates it from the heart to all the parts of the body. That means all parts of the body serve the belly. The belly nourishes all of them in turn. So it goes like this. For example, the ocean water is taken by the sun and the sun evaporates it and gives it back as sweet waters. The salt water is taken and turned into sweet water and given. The food is taken by the belly and given back as blood and nourishment to the body. Similarly, you will find the citizens of a country pay tax to the king, and the king is supposed to return it all back as welfare for the people. Similarly, as it is shown here, it says the students go to the school and they follow the rules of the principal, and in turn the principal gives them education, training and degree. Similarly, take employees in a company. They serve the plans of the CEO, and in return they receive salary, perks and facilities. Similarly, the citizens of a country, they are aligned by the laws made by the Prime Minister, and they also get welfare facilities, everything. In the same manner, it's very easy to understand. All the living beings, they have to serve the Supreme Lord. It is in their interest that they have to serve him. And they receive eternal happiness by that. It's very obvious. You see, for example, when a father sends a son to engineering college, 4 years education, father sends every month some money for his food, for his accommodation, for his education, all that. So the father has a plan for the son. The father expects that my son uses his money to eat food and accommodate himself, peacefully do his education and pass out of the college, earn a degree, and come and join my business. Correct, no? Every father has an expectation. Similarly, God has sent us to this world, where somehow or other we have turned away from him, but he is providing us facilities. He's giving us food, clothing, shelter, everything is giving. Actually, we have to find out, we have to ask God only, what is your plan for me? And that is given in the sacred scriptures. His plan is that we purify our heart and go back to him and join the eternal business of Leela. Leela means the joyful pastimes with the Lord of the spiritual sky. We have to go back to the home from where we have come. That is the plan. But most people forget that. See, here is a quiz. At least 5 qualities of the divine and demoniac you have to say. I will show you one side. You have to say on the other side, what is it? Okay? Demoniac people rebel against God's laws. Divine people? Obey God's laws. Correct? No? Demoniac people are selfishly concerned about one's own sense gratification. And divine?
Selfless.
Selfless. They render selfless service to God and all the children of God. Correct? No? Okay. This fellow thinks, I am a self-made man. Whatever qualities and abilities he possesses, he thinks he has, grown in his life on his own. He thinks like that. What do the devotees think?
We have to rely on God.
Yeah.
Servants of God, and we have to rely on God.
Actually, I am a self-made man. So they think that whatever I possess, It is given by God to me. See here what he says. He's grateful to God. Correct now? He's grateful to him. For example, all of you have a face cut now. Did you cut your face or God gave you the face cut? He has cut your face for you, correct now? He gave you the face cut. He gave you the pigment of the color of your skin. He gave you the parents. You will see that these are all gifted by him to you. For example, the intelligence you have, the brain you have. Did you create your brain? Even Einstein didn't create his own brain. God gave him the brain. God gave us the eyes and the nose and even Darwin was amazed when he saw that all the different parts of the body, they work in coordination with each other. What a design this body is. Just think for a moment. Imagine your eyes were here, nose was here, and your mouth was behind. Let us just, for the sake of assume like that. Eyes here, nose here, and mouth here. Then you have to see the food with eyes, smell with the nose, and give it here. How difficult it will be. But God has put them all in one place. Eyes, nose, mouth. You smell like this, and you look at it with the eyes, and you put it in the mouth. Such a nice design, is it not true? Amazing design. Another design I'll tell you, look at this eyebrows, they don't grow beyond this. Correct? Whereas the hair on the head grows very long. Now, isn't it? Why this hair grows long, this doesn't grow? Because if this hair grows long like this, it will block your vision. Every time you lift the hair and look at people like this, it will be laborious. So it only grows this much. What a design it is. So scientists may say that God has put some enzymes here. He has put there are some enzymes which doesn't allow the growth of this. That may be true, but why should the enzymes put only here and not here? Think about it. It's a design. It's a design. So if you look at the body, everything is awarded to us. The eyes, the nose, the tongue, the hands, legs, everything. So we are grateful to God. Okay, just do it is the demoniac language. Eat, drink, and be merry. What is the other side? Yeah. Okay. Be conscious to avoid sin. Because sin means disobedience to God. Be conscious. Be alert. Always think, will God be pleased with this act or not? Example, here is Duryodhana. That side you can think of one person. Arjuna. Arjuna also and also Yudhishthira. All the Pandavas, correct? No? So you got an idea about the divine and demoniac, correct? You got an idea? So now some people ask, now is God some impersonal light or some energy? Or how do you understand God? Is he, some people say God is impersonal, some say God is personal. So in Bible, it is said God made man in his own image. It is said in Bible, which means his image is also just a form. He's called Abba. Abba means father. It's called by the name Abba. So in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said God created all the species of life, like cats, dogs, and creatures on land, creatures in water, creatures in the sky. But still he was unhappy because all of them are dull creatures. None of them could realize God. Then God decided to create human being exactly resembling his own form. So therefore, like Krishna made the human being looking like him, and he made the females looking like Srimati Radharani. He made this from two forms. Then he became very satisfied. He said that in this form, the living beings can realize me. So only in human form he can realize them. Which means the human beings were made after God. There was one Indian Swami who made a point which some Indians appreciated at that time. He said that if all the dogs were to make a God, they will make one dog into God. If all human beings want to make a God, they are making one human into God. God is neither human nor dog, God is impersonal. Like that, he made a statement. Now, we are not making God. God makes us. Say, for example, if Gopal goes to school, so school starts and he has to go to school. Suddenly in the school, he's remembering his mother and father and he's weeping in the school. And teacher is saying, hey, why are you weeping? He's saying, I'm remembering my mother and father. If teacher says, why are you creating mother and father? If they say, like, he is not creating mother and mother made him. Correct, no? So actually, we are not creating any form of God. God has a form and he has made us in his own image. God made man in his own image, it is said. So therefore you will see God as a form. If you see this Microsoft, behind Microsoft, there's a great intelligent fellow. Who is it? There's a person behind, isn't it? Similarly, behind a country, there is always a prime minister. Government is impersonal, but behind the impersonal government, there is a person. You will find that. Similarly, in a cinema theater, you will find a beam of light that is impersonal, but behind it, there is a projector operated by a man. Electricity passing through the wires is impersonal, but the electricity is generated at a powerhouse where there's a man sitting and releasing this energy, electricity. So behind the energy, there is energetic. There's energetic is a person, and energy is impersonal. So therefore, behind this gigantic universe, who is the person behind this manifestation? So the Gita, Krishna says this. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Oh Arjuna, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotion service. Krishna says this. And he talks about the spiritual world. My supreme abode is now not illuminated by sun or moon. And those who go there never return to this world. I told you one Bible statement yesterday, isn't it? And Jesus says, my father's mansion, my father's abode has many mansions, he says, and it is not lit by sun or moon, he says. Similar thing is said in the Bible also. In many scriptures you find that. So in the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra, you find Arjuna was under stress and he was trembling. He put his bow down. He was unwilling to fight. He had lost composure. He had become hopeless. But then you find Arjuna took shelter of Krishna. Eventually you find Arjuna became very confident. He got up and fought the battle. So what is it that Krishna spoke in Bhagavad-Gita that woke up Arjuna? That's the spiritual message which we are learning in the last 4 sessions. So here is a blessing verse in the end of Bhagavad-Gita you find, where there is Krishna, master of all mystics, where there is Arjuna, supreme archer. There are 4 things it is said. There is always opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. These 4 blessings are given for those who understand the message of Gita. And the Pandavas are 5, Kauravas are 100. Pandavas won because 1 plus infinity is infinity. They took God on their side intelligently. That is Pandavas. So Pandavas are all following Dharma, and Krishna was the father of Dharma. So therefore they won. So, and Krishna protected the Pandavas, those who took his shelter. And actually Pandavas are known for their devotion. So you will see that one quality of Pandavas, even though they became king of the world, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he always said that it is only by Krishna's mercy that he became king of the world. That was his thought. Actually, Yudhishthira Maharaj was very famous and popular for javelin throwing. Arjuna was famous for what? Archery. And Bhima was famous for what? Mace fighting, yeah. Nakula Sahadev were famous for what? Nakula Sahadev, they used to have sword fighting. So everybody was very famous for something. Although they were like champions, world champions, they were never proud. They said that ultimately, despite all these talents, if God doesn't sanction, we will not become the kings. Like, we can only sow the seed. God has to give the rains. You can only give the interview. The panel has to choose you for the job. You can only write the test. The teachers have to give you the marks. In our life, the success is 50% only in our hands. Other 50% is in God's hand. Pandavas always knew that, like this bulb, if you see, if I switch on, it will be on. If I switch off, it will be off. I may tend to think that I am the controller of this bulb. Is it true or not? If I am switching on and off, bulb is getting on and off. So am I not the controller? Am I the controller or not? What do you think? I am not the controller? How can you say if I switch off, it will be off?
Because Krishna created you and Krishna is
Okay. Okay. You see, the electricity board may shut down the power. When they shut it down, my switching on and off is of no consequence. Similarly, if God doesn't sanction, no matter how much you jump up and down, things won't happen. As So our plans may be there, but as we say, man proposes, God disposes. Everything is not in our hands. So we are co-worker with God. Arjuna is a co-worker with Krishna. Similarly, we are all co-workers with him. So if you know that fact, then you know boss and das. So he is the boss and we are his das. So those who truly know this, those people can become free from the lording over mentality or bossing mentality, because they know very well that everything is not in our hands. The third question is about dharma. What is dharma is explained very nicely here. You will see that. Dharma of the soul. You will see everywhere, all people are rendering service. Here the teacher is teaching the students. Mother is caring for the child. Everybody is rendering service in the picture as you see here. Yeah. But you will see that these services don't continue forever. At the time of death, they are finished. Yeah. Every living being has to, in the same manner, they all love also somebody, as you see here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, here you see, this little girl loves her grandfather. Even tiger and lion, they love their cubs. You'll see that. The principle of love is everywhere. But the love is terminated at the time of death. It's temporary in the material world. Even if you love somebody very much, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, beyond that, they will gradually pass away. So we may be broken-hearted, we weep, and then we remember that for some time, and then we go on with life. We will not be able to be with the loved ones forever in this world. So every living being has tendency to love and serve. But where should we repose our loving propensity, loving serving propensity? And that is actually called dharma. Dharma means our innate propensity to love and serve. See the sugar, what is innate dharma of sugar? Gopal, you know that? What is the nature of sugar?
Sweet.
What is the nature of salt?
Salty.
Yeah. What is the nature of ice?
Cold.
Cold, yeah. What is the nature of water?
Sweet. Liquid.
Correct, no? Isn't it? These are the natures, innate natures. Similarly, what is the innate nature of every living being? If you ask, the innate nature is to love and serve. Show me anybody who doesn't love anybody. Everybody loves somebody, and everybody serves somebody. You will see that. See, the domestic animals are serving humans, like take horses, or dogs, or bulls, cows, donkeys, or camels. They are all serving humans. And the humans are also serving their boss in the company, or serving their parents. You will see that. Even a prime minister has to serve his countrymen. No one is spared from service. Similarly, everybody loves somebody. Initially, we all love only the mother. Then we love our mother and father. Then subsequently love our brothers, sisters. Then we love our caste people. Then we love our state people. Then we love our country people. As the love expands, it extends to all humanity. But even at that time, love is considered incomplete. Because one who loves all humanity may still be killing the animals. He may be killing a goat or a chicken or for eating. So the real love is only possible when you love God. So all of you repeat after me. Love God, love all. So if God is like a master switch. If you put on the master switch, then fan, light, fridge, everything will be on. If you switch off that, everything will be off. You will see that. So when you love God, you can love all. It's like a one-stroke method. I'll tell you a simple example. How many of you sitting here, you have a sister? You have a sister. You have a sister. You all have sisters. Okay. So now, before your sister got married, you didn't know who is going to marry her. Correct? No? But the moment she got married, the man who is your sister's husband becomes very dear to you also. You become affectionate to him. You will actually treat him the same way as you treat your sister. Warmly. Correct? No? Then not only him, his mother and father also become respectable to you. You will see that. Then how is it that all the people who are unknown to you suddenly became dear to you and respectable by you? What is the reason for that? There is only one reason for that. Anybody knows? How is that husband of the sister and other, his mother, father, brother, everybody became respectable and affectionate to you all of a sudden?
Certainly, you want to yeah, I mean, we follow certain dharma law, like of living in society.
Correct. But what makes us feel that affinity towards those people whom we never knew before.
They have God in them.
They have?
They have God in them.
And there's God in everybody else also.
They are connected to your sister who you love.
They are connected to your sister whom you love. Because you love your sister, naturally that love extends to those people also. In the same manner, if I love God, God is connected to who all? Everybody. Therefore, if you love Him, you will love everybody. You can't even harm an ant also. That's the method. That's the secret. So that's why I told you, love God, love one. I told you. It's called Vasudha Eva Kutumbakam. You see the whole globe as one family. All living beings as God's children, as brothers and sisters. You can see like that. So that's why that's ultimate love. That's called unconditional love. Yeah. That is called Sanatana Dharma. The word Sanatana means eternal. Eternal love. Endless love. Imperishable love. Yeah. See, here is a man who got it's called a disease called amnesia. Amnesia means he had an accident. It really happened in London. One potato sack was kept in the top in the train, and the sack fell on a man's head. It immediately fell down unconscious. He lost all his memory by that, because it hit his head. He forgot his parents' name. He forgot who his parents are. Totally. It's called amnesia, we call it. Some people will get this disease, actually. Similarly, we also momentarily, we have left the kingdom of God and we have forgotten our relationship with God completely. Actually, there's another true story comes to my mind. There were two great pop singers called John and Dan. You heard about them? This John and Dan, they're brothers, singers. So one time Dan was driving a car and he was very speedily going on a road. And when he took a turn, there was a terrible accident. And he was thrown out of the car and he fell unconscious. For 2-3 days, he didn't come out of external consciousness. He was admitted in a hospital. But the third day when he came out, it happened like this. He completely forgot everything. He didn't even know his name also. He didn't know his parents. So all the doctors felt, to whom should we hand over him? He has lost his memory. So one lady, doctor, very elderly lady, she was a psychiatrist. She said that, I would like to study his case. So she took that body of that fellow and then kept in her hospital. She had a psychiatric hospital also. She kept him. So it almost 6 months had passed. One day she was playing a radio. In those days only radio was there, no TV was there in those days. She played a radio of a pop song by John and Dan. When Dan heard that, he told the lady, oh ma'am, that is me singing, he said. She said, what are you talking? It's a very famous pop singer, it is John and Dan. And then he remembered his name. Yes, my name is Dan, he said. Then immediately she found out where is John and where are his parents, everything she found out. It was easy to find because they were celebrities at that time. So immediately could connect with his parents by the time. So why did I tell you this little story? Because we are all from spiritual world. We should sing a song which is going on in spiritual world. And what is the song, Gopal, do you know? Hare Krishna mantra. Give him an applause. Therefore we sing the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As you keep singing, as you keep listening, gradually the lost memory will be revived. Just like Dan could revive. That's what we do. So we should come in touch with those things which we were already in touch. Like for example, Krishna's beautiful form, we have been seeing. So we come in touch with the deity form. Similarly, Krishna Prasad, Krishna's devotees, then Srimad Bhagavatam, sacred scriptures, then mantra. All these things we come in touch, gradually remembrance will be revived. I've forgotten, and love will be remembered. It can be recollected. But having forgotten God, we repose our love in so many temporary relationships in this world. Like here there is spouse-centeredness, then there is family-centeredness, then there is money-centeredness, then there is work-centeredness. He's a workaholic. And there is a possession-centeredness. Oh, my bungalow, my car. It's mad after that. Then pleasure-centeredness, pet-centeredness. So we have so many eccentric centers, having forgotten God. Actually speaking, our love for God is innately there, like a red hot coal covered with ashes. Whether you blow the ash, then the coal will manifest its heat. Similarly, love of God can be revived by chanting daily, every day as we practice. Otherwise, we are carried away by these different eccentric centers. Oh, friend or enemy centeredness. Yeah. See, the spiritual world is compared to a beautiful lotus. And there is a effulgence between the spiritual world and material world, Brahma Jyoti. And then the material world is created by God. You can see that. And then this is one universe. So there's a Karna ocean in which Mahavishnu creates millions of universes he creates. And each of the universes, he expands himself like this. And he gives Vedas to Brahma to hand it over in the Guru Parampara, in the disciplic line, so that all living beings can get the benefit.
Shri Vishnave Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. Shri Vishnave Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat.
This is Gandalaksha Vishnu, from whose navel Brahma is born. Not only that, he expands into the heart of all living beings, just like Mr. Jacob was saying just now a few minutes ago, that God is the heart of every living being. In the picture you see here, he is expanding into the heart of every living creature by the side of the soul. So why is he accompanying us? To guide us. Actually, he is ready to guide, only we are not consulting him. If we are only asking him, give me this, give me that. Just like sometimes the son may go to the father and say, oh, Papa, a new model mobile has come, can you please give me? Gives him mobile. Oh, Papa, I want a new car. So he only keeps asking, give me this, give me that. God and father keeps giving the goods. But if the son becomes more mature and developed, then he can turn to father and ask him, how can I help you in your business? How I can assist you? So that type of sons are rare. Similarly, very few living beings turn to God and say, oh God, you are giving me so many things. God gives and forgives. We get and forget. So what can I do for you? Then he will give us the intelligence by which we can go back to him. Not only he is in every heart of a living being. You see in the second picture it shows, he is in every atom. Otherwise, even the electrons cannot revolve without the presence of super soul. Yeah. So the goal of life is to purify heart. This is the most important section of today. How do we purify the heart? We will come to this. You see this picture, I have shown you two things. Exploitative mentality of Ravana and service mentality of Hanuman. You can see that. Ravana is carrying away Sita, kidnapping Sita, Rama's wife, whereas Hanuman is trying to bring Sita back to Ram, and Ram is very pleased with it. So Hanuman is the ideal servant of Rama. So the last few days we have been learning on self-awareness or understanding the knowledge of soul being servant of God. Why do we learn this knowledge? There are multiple advantages. In 3 slides I am showing you 3 different advantages. One is this world is filled with changes. Several tornadoes or cyclones come in this world, and you can be a very stable individual if you have knowledge of soul and God and the relationship. Because, whenever you have a problem in your life, you turn to your mother and father, right? What if the mother and father, after some years, they pass away? Like my parents passed away 2 years ago. So after they leave this world and go to the next destination, then whom will you bank upon? Therefore, we have to connect ourselves with God very firmly in such a way that God is permanent and the soul is permanent, and the relationship is also permanent. Once the connection is established, internally you can feel the strength. Secondly, when you become self-aware, you will know that everything belongs to God, and we are only a custodian of God's property, steward of resources, and you will also protect your dependents and not exploit them. I will show you what is exploitation. It will come out now. Also, you can be empowered by the divine grace of God to do impossible things. God can use you as an instrument. The more you align with His will, those who align with His will, God can use them to do great things. Like Krishna is using Arjuna for accomplishing the goal of establishing dharma. See, these are the three impurities in our heart. I am the proprietor. I am the controller. I am the enjoyer. Those who think like this. See, opposite of I am the proprietor is what? Everything belongs to Krishna. I am only custodian of God's property. This is the correct consciousness. For example, if you're living in a rented house, the house doesn't belong to us. It belongs to somebody else. You are only renting it out. Like that, one should think that in this world, we are only using God's property. It's not ours. This is the very first consciousness. Say, for example, one of your friends is going out of station. He gives you a stereo. Big stereo. He says that the stereo, has very nice music. You can hear it if you wish. 3 months later, I'll come back. So in those 3 months, you may hear it every day. Use the stereo every day. And after 3 months, when your friend comes and reminds you, now that I'm back and I take my stereo back, and you say, do you really want it? If you ask him like that, what is the meaning of that? Do you really want it? Yeah?
Because the person is greedy, he wants that studio.
Why he wants the stereo? Why he wants that? What happened to him in 3 months?
Because he got attracted to the music.
He got attached to it. Correct. He has to now become attached. Using it repeatedly, he has got attached to it. Such a small kid is able to give the answer. Amazing, no? Yeah. In this world, when we use something repeatedly, we get used to it. We get attached to it. He is unable to give. Is it proper, Gopal, that he is attached to it, or he should give it back to his friend?
He should give it back to his friend.
That's ideal, right? Yeah. Or conversely, his friend is coming and asking, where is the stereo? He says, my son was playing with the stereo. He took it upstairs. He opened it from behind. He took out all the chips and everything. I think my son is going to be electronics engineer later. He likes to research on things. And then that boy has broken it down and in pieces and bits. And then the man who gave the stereo, he will be wild. Hey, I gave it to you for 3 months. You are supposed to give it to me back. You have been totally irresponsible in preserving it. And that is also wrong. So neither should you become attached to it, nor should you be irresponsible for it. Whatever God has given to you in your life, you can possess it, use it, and give it back to Him. That is ideal consciousness. But in between, people become possessive and they think, I am proprietor. People want to possess things. Second one, I told you, I am the boss mentality. Actually, I am not boss, I am das. I am servant of God and servant of devotees. Third mentality is, I am the enjoyer. Instead of engaging in Lord's service, one wants to become an enjoyer. I have shown you in 3 slides now. You see this one. Those who do not know the sense of God purposes, they assume that the material world is for their own enjoyment. Most people think like that. Actually, and they think we are the cause of everything in the world. We are the controllers. We are the enjoyers. But it's wrong, actually. You can see this 120 elements and periodic table. Did you create them? Did we create them? Did you create the sun? Did you create the moon? Did you create the rains? Did you create the flowers? Did you create the grains? Nothing is created by us. God actually, He has created this world and provided us the facility. So, therefore, this is the very first thing. Who is the owner? It's the first question. See, this lust, anger, and greed, these impurities occupy our heart when we have these 3 mentalities. Anybody can match it. Proprietorship is which mentality? Is it lust, greed, or anger? Which one? Proprietorship. Greed, correct. Wanting to be owner, proprietor is greed. And controllership? Anger. Because if you try to control, you can't control, you become angry. Like Hiranyakashipu tried to control Prahlad His son. When he couldn't control, what happened? He became angry. And the lust is enjoyership. So, proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership. These three are the impurities in our heart. See here, the picture. See this kid, small kid, you see? You want to eat the whole cake, see? You saw that? He's putting the whole cake in his mouth, see here. Yeah. They want to own the whole thing. He doesn't want a piece. Yeah. So, okay. So, see the Bali Maharaj, at one time he stole the property of the demigod. So, Vamana Deva came, correct now? To give back the property to Devatas. Similarly, Duryodhana. You know what was the proposal Yudhishthira Maharaj gave to Duryodhana through Krishna as peace messenger? Anybody knows? At least 5 villages you give us. You take the whole world. Actually, the property belonged to Pandavas or Kauravas? Pandavas. Still, the Pandavas were ready to accept 5 villages and be satisfied. But foolish Duryodhana was not ready to give even the land that could be contained in the tip of a needle. He said that. He said, I want to wipe out the Pandavas and be, unrivaled king all over the world. Finally, what happened to Duryodhana? The whole Duryodhana's kingdom was wiped out. On the other hand, when Yudhishthira became the king, see the picture below, left bottom, Yudhishthira becoming the king. What he said, I am only a custodian of Supreme Lord's property. That was his consciousness. This is the opposite of proprietorship mentality. You see, what is the problem with proprietorship mentality? You see, in this world, all fights are because of Ukraine and Russia now. What Russia wants to do with Ukraine? Take over. They say, you be under us now. We don't want you to be independent. So, similarly, you will find in 1962, China was fighting with India for a desolate land, you will find. At one time in India also, Mughals were ruling India for 700 years. British were ruling for 200 years. Every country has an experience, correct? No? Somebody taking over. Which means God has given every child a toy. You be happy with this toy, but the children are not happy with the toy. They want everyone's toy and they want to tell other children, you get lost. This is proprietorship. Alexander did that. Hiranyakashipu did that also, you will see. See, controllership here. This is another thing. Everybody wants, I am the boss. I want to be in control. See here, the husband and wife are trying to prove to one another, I am right, you are wrong. On the left side is the left bottom. Yeah. That means they are trying to control the other. You agree? Control the other. On the right side bottom, you see mother and daughter-in-law. What is the meaning of this? Both of them catching hand and pulling. You know that? Only married people will know this. You know? Yeah? See, mother-in-law wants the boy to be her son. And the daughter-in-law wants her husband to be hers. Because women have some amount of insecurity. When the mother thinks, all these years my son was my son. Now this new girl has come in my home. I am afraid that my son will listen to her more and not to me. Correct? No? She thinks like that. And the daughter-in-law thinks, this fellow was always with the mother. Now he is married, means my husband. She thinks like that. So both are trying to control him. That poor fellow is in trouble now, you see, in the middle. So you will find that as soon as everybody wants to take control, this world becomes a very, horrible place. Similarly, in the top left corner I have shown, people want to expand their business to all over the globe and say that we have our business in every city in the world. We have our presence. You heard about that presence? Correct, no? They want to have their presence. If possible, they will have the presence on another planet also. If all over the universe. Actually, Krishna says, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the master of all the planets and all the universes. So the jivas also want to be controller of everything. Imitating God. They want to imitate God. Yeah. They want to be boss. Actually speaking, we are not boss. We are not controller. We are servant of God. So here is an example, ideal example. This boss is a good boss. He's thinking, I am servant leader to empower my team members to become leaders. I am an instrument of God to serve those in my care. I am not the ultimate controller. This is right consciousness. We should think that God has put me in this world. He has given these people in my custody. On behalf of God, I should bring God's love to the world, to these people. Like that one should think. That's ideal. See, this enjoyership mentality, you see. Ravana thought, Sita is for my enjoyment. Similarly, that boss fellow in the top left you find, he says, everyone and everything is here to serve me, please me, and work for me and my enjoyment. Shape up or ship out, he says. This is enjoying mentality. See, these children, this girl wants to take away all the toys and leave the other girl with no toys, he said. I told you. I want to be the enjoyer. So these three are the polluting agents in our heart. Yeah. So this is the cleaning agent. We have to chant this mantra. Please, all of you repeat 3 times. We'll chant. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. So by chanting this mantra, it is actually a virus scanning and virus removing software, like in a computer. It can actually detect the lust, anger, and greed in our mind and show us. And it can also cleanse the impurities in our heart. How the cleansing takes place? When you chant this mantra, you are calling out, "Oh Krishna, all attractive God. Oh energy of the Lord, Srimati Radharani. Oh Supreme Mother and Global Father," they are calling. Because we all have a local Mother, Father who will pass away, but Global Mother, Father will never pass away. Please kindly deliver me from this world. Accept me as your servant. Engage me in your service. Purify my heart. That's the meaning of this prayer. So by offering this prayer, we are uplifting our consciousness and gradually moving towards spiritual world. So this is a prayer for protection from dangers, Prabhupada says. And also it delivers us from forgetfulness. It gives us remembrance. Yeah. In this way we can act in this world. Nishkama Karma Yoga means we can act with the proper understanding. God is the supreme enjoyer, He is the controller, He is the best friend of all. And ultimately we can accept Krishna and surrender to Him as the ultimate object of love. So now I am showing you in this 5th one about difference between material world and spiritual world. You will see here, there's the real marble, there is a fake marble. There's a real mango, there's a fake mango. Real currency note, there's a fake currency note. Yeah. Similarly, you will see the spiritual beauty. This is the material beauty, how it is changing gradually. You saw that? See how it was. Yeah. This is how everybody's body changes like this. You saw? Yeah. The beauty goes away, fades away, this material beauty. But spiritual beauty is everlasting. So therefore, material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Spiritual world is blissful, spiritual world, where every moment is a festival. They said that every word is a song. Nobody speaks there, everybody sings in the spiritual world. And nobody walks there, everybody dances there. See, all water is like honey there in spiritual world. All living beings are pure completely. They have no envy or revengeful attitude or anger. They are free from all malice in their hearts. Pure-hearted souls, everybody. And there is no old age, disease or death in the spiritual world. Yeah. So that's our real eternal home. Therefore, the goal of life is mentioned in all the scriptures. Krishna says that Napruvanti Mahatmana Samsiddhim Paramam Gata. Returning back home, back to God, it is the ultimate goal of life. So now you may ask the question, why did the soul fall into the material world? Into this prison of this material world? See, here is a small boy, he tells the father, Papa, you drive your car, but I want my own car. Actually, he doesn't want to go with his father in his car. He wants to have his own car, my car, means aham car. He's identifying with his own car. You see the picture, isn't it? Similarly, the living being thinks that, oh, you have your planet, Goloka, I will have my planet. He wants to have his own planet. In Pune, there is a computer institute called My Own Planet. They give a name, My Own Planet. The living being wants his own thing. So basically, we wanted to imitate God. You are creating something I also want to create. So we have come here in this world to do some imitation. Now, when you get tired with the imitation, we'll go back to Him. Like for example, a fish. If a fish wants to come out of water, can he be happy? Like see here, you give him cat. You can all these things make him. Isn't it? These are the things everybody is giving. You give a smartphone, you give burger, you give dollar notes. You can't make the fish happy. Basically, you have to put him back in water. Put him in water, the fish is happy again. Yeah. So, the fish is from the spiritual world. I mean, we are from the spiritual world. Then you go back to spiritual world, you will be happy. Otherwise, not. Yeah. Similarly, we'll be happy only in the spiritual world. That's the point. See, material world, you may have great riches. Still, people are committing suicide even with riches. Yeah. See here, why is this boy crying? You see, Gopal, why is he crying? You have to revive our eternal relationship with the Father. That's the point. In this world, the reason for our loneliness or reason for our weeping is disconnect from God. Arjuna was actually standing in the battlefield of Kurukshetra with Krishna just 2 feet away, but he was not aligned with God. He was actually, in Bible it said, like, thy will be done, not my will. And that's what Arjuna also said. Karishye vachanam tava. At the end he said, then he became connected. When the boy is alone as an orphan, he is weeping, but with the father he is happy, isn't it? I'm going to show you one video now. Just a minute. We have another this thing. We have a mic. You can keep it here. Now I can take that. You can hold it here.
A man had 2 sons. The younger son told his father, "Father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die." So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pots he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, At home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. He wasted everything his father gave him. While he had the job of feeding the pig, no one gave him anything. Finally, he came to his senses and said,
"My father's workers have plenty to eat, and here I am starving to death." I would go to my father and say to him, "Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers."
but when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him. He ran to his son. And kissed him.
Hurry and bring the best clothes and put them on him. Give him a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet. This son of mine was dead and has now come back to life. He was lost and has now been found.
And they began to celebrate.
Okay, the question to all of you. Who is the father in the story? Lord Krishna. So there is first son, second son. The second son who got his property shared from the father and went far away. Who is he?
Living entity.
Which living entities? Anybody else?
He wanted to exercise free will.
Those who wanted to misuse that free will and become independent of the Supreme Lord and who come to the world. So all of us are in the second category. But one good thing about the boy was, after he learned a good lesson, he had to feed 100 pigs and eat the same floor. How horrible it is. Similarly, having come to this world, we have undergone several, temptations and tribulations, we can say, in this world. This world is full of temptations. The temptations are those which allure you and drag you down and making you more and more miserable. And the tribulations agitate us at every moment. There is a danger at every step in this world always. The bodies are very fragile. They can be subject to accidents or diseases. And there can be danger from other living entities. There can be danger from natural calamities. So, having lived in this world and having experienced intelligent living beings, they again turn back to Lord and understand that I have done a mistake. I have to go back to Him. So, and then if you are ready to turn back to Him, there is a bright future that awaits us. Just like you see all the parts of the tree are nourished by watering the root of the tree, similarly, all the parts of the body get strength. I've told you the example of feeding the stomach. Similarly, we can become happy by serving the Lord, who is the supreme whole. That's a very simple formula. You see in the picture here, this Garuda on the left top, serving Lord Narayana. Similarly, look at Krishna's friends in the spiritual world playing with him. Hanuman serving Lord Rama. Or here, the fruit vendor lady giving all the fruits she carried to Krishna without any reservation. So you will see that these are all examples of living beings in the spiritual platform, serving the Lord with great love. Yeah, actually the soul is not a competitor of God, he is actually a cooperator with God. But foolishly we have got into a mode of competition with Him and imitating Him, we have come here. That's the main point. So, of course, the soul can be happy by reviving that serving nature. See, the below is shown, but in the material world, by chasing the rat race, you will never be happy. See the upside down? Yeah. This is the last one. Already I told you about ABCD in the previous session, but here one slide I have shown it in conclusion. A for association, yeah. You see, I have shown you 3 forms here. All the 3 are called Purushottama. Who are the 3 I have shown here? Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram. Yeah. So Krishna, Narayan, Ram, all 3 are called by the name Purushottam. It's only one God only, but he is doing triple acting. Why he is doing triple acting? There is a reason. Just like Prime Minister is at home in a more intimate and friendly mood. But the same Prime Minister in the Parliament is in a more serious mood. Like in India, when the Prime Minister comes to Parliament, all the MLAs, MPs salute him. At home, nobody salutes him. Because at home, mother, father, brother, they deal with him very casually in a friendly mood. So, similarly, God has 2 roles. One role is people salute him as in a reverential mood as God. And in another mood, he is very jovial and friendly as Krishna. The difference is easily understandable. Lord Vishnu carries chakra and gada to kill the demons. And he carries the conch and the flower for the devotees. Whereas Krishna carries a flute. Just like you all can think of an army officer, if you see, at home, how he dresses and how he dresses when he goes to army. He has a stars, color strips, he has a gun, he has a cap and everything. But he will not show the gun to the family members. At home, he may wear a very simple dress. Similarly, so you would like to meet that God in Parliament or in the home? Which one? Which one will you appreciate? Huh? Yeah. Why home? What is the reason? You like your father at home or your father in the office or in the army?
We want some playful exchange.
We want some playful exchange, yeah. We are more charmed by playful exchange, sportive exchange. Even Nietzsche made one statement. He said, God is dead, which is well known in the world. People thought he's an atheist. He wasn't an atheist at all. He said, God is dead, but I only believe in a dancing God, he said, which many people don't know. The second part of the statement. So, which means he's exactly describing Lord Krishna, who is a playful God. In the Vrindavan, he doesn't play the role of God at all. He becomes a friend of the covered boys. He becomes son of Yashoda and Nanda. He becomes a lover of the gopis, the covered damsels of Braj. So that means one can enter into a relationship with God as a friend or as a lover or as a child, parent and child. And in this way, one can develop intimate connection with him. So how do you align with him? With the ABCD formula, we will see one by one. This is what I told you in the previous session I told you. Now each of it is explained in one slide. See, there were 2 parrots who were brothers. They are sold by one shop owner. One was sold to a butcher, another one was sold to a king. So when saintly person was passing, he saw that the butcher's shop parrot was saying, catch him, cut him, kill him, like that he was speaking. Whereas the king's parrot was speaking very sweet words. Oh, my dear sage, please take your seat. The king has gone for a stroll. Would you like to have a cup of water? Like that he spoke. So the saint was surprised. You both are brothers. How do you behave so differently? Then the bird spoke to him, told him that, you see, my brother is sold to a butcher shop. By association with the butcher, he's speaking such nasty things. And I am associating with saintly people like you who come here. So I speak very sweetly, he said. That means the quality of your speech, quality of your action depends on your association. Like here you see a calf drinks milk. But if a calf is regularly keeping company of a pig, then the calf also will go and live in the ditch. And it will eat the dirty things it will eat, correct, no? So we need good company in our life. We say, the saying, birds of the same feather flock together, yeah. So you have to decide what type of association you want to keep. If you want to advance in Krishna consciousness, you need regular association of devotees who are like-minded. Like in this temple, every weekend we have classes going on. If you come and join the classes every weekend, then in the good Sangha, we can grow in our life, spiritual life. Second one is books like Bhagavad-Gita, for example. See, there are authorized universities like MIT, Harvard, where people go to study. In those universities, they give books. There are professors. Similarly, there are authorized Guru Paramparas also. In the Guru Paramparas, there are spiritual teachers and spiritual books like Gita, Bhagavatam. So one should take advantage of all the 3. The Parampara, like the university teacher and the books. Similarly, the Parampara and the Gurus are the teachers and the spiritual textbooks. One should take advantage. Yeah. And we should not accept any teacher who is not in a reserved line, who is actually not teaching you how to love God. Because there are two types of teachers. One type of teacher in this world, gurus, the world has seen, they are after money making. They are after popularity game. They are after holding some posts and positions and having a big following. And they often fall prey to women also. Vices like women and money and things like that. So those people are actually after material goods in this world. So we don't want those type of teachers. We want teachers. So we want teachers who are lovers of God, who are not charmed by the material goods of this world. They simply want to love and serve God. They don't want anything else. They are after God only. Prabhupada writes in one of his books, SSR, they are after God and after God only, he writes. They will get up in the morning with God's name. They will go to bed at night sleeping with God's name. In the daytime, they will be breathing God's name practically. And they will be talking about God, thinking of God, preaching about God. Such saintly people are required. Prabhupada was one such personality. That's why he could influence the world in such a big way. So he could make so many lovers of God. So therefore, we need proper teachers to teach us the scriptures. Thirdly, the chanting of the holy name on japa beads is very important. You all can have the mala with you. We have mala with us. Yeah, we can give them one mala each. They can have the experience of chanting. Japa. Beads, yeah, this is that. So you all will get a mala now. You can have it, and we will chant. One full round, if you chant, it is 108. It takes you 10 minutes to chant. So we can chant in a chorus and you can experience how it is for yourself. So this chanting is given in the Kali Santaran Upanishad, where Brahmaji speaks to Narada. So about this chanting Hare Krishna. Narada asked, Kali Yuga has started. So how are we going to, how are the souls going to be saved in this day and age? And then Narada was given this mantra. And there it is said that anyone who chants this mantra, they can eradicate those three mentalities I told you. You remember three mentalities I told you? Through three polluted mentalities. Anybody remembers that? Lust, anger, and greed. And corresponding to them, I told them proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership. Correct? Huh? Yeah. Can give mala to one mala to each, everybody. Yeah. And Govinda Gopal will give to everybody. Give it quickly. Check it out. You have enough now?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, get more. Get more. Everybody should get one. Yeah, give it. So you all can hold the mala like this. So you can keep it in your hand like this. And these three fingers should be inside and this finger should be outside. You know why? Because with this finger we indicate the mistakes of others. So we don't use this finger. So we take this finger out. And this is the Guru Mani, we call it. We don't use this one. And we use the next one. This one we use. We use this next Mani here. And from here, the thumb, we'll be moving with the thumb one Mani every time. Okay? Like one full mantra we will chant, Hare Krishna. I will show you the mantra. What was that mantra I showed you? So, this is the mantra. So, one mantra you'll chant and then move the beads. Okay, one, and then go to the second one, third one, fourth one, like that. All of you ready with the mala with you? Ready? So in the beginning, I'm going to utter one mantra which is not given here. You all can repeat after me. It's very helpful because that mantra will nullify any mistakes we may commit. Please repeat after me. Jai Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Now we are going to chant Hare Krishna together, okay? And the same pace we will chant. And while chanting, what you should do, you should try to hear the mantra. When the mind wanders with some plan-making mode about tomorrow, day after, anything, pull the mind back. Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam asthiram tatastato niyamyetat atmaniyam vasham nayet. Bring it in your vash and try to concentrate. And if you do this effectively, this concentration will help you in every walk of life, in your office, in your college, everywhere. You will get a very sharp concentration if you do that. So let us chant together and try to. It is going to take us about 10 minutes. You all are ready? No. And one mani, we will chant one mantra, okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki. So you all had a personal experience yourself. Huh? It's extremely vibrant mantra. It is very calming to the mind. There are examples of very big industrialists saying that by chanting this Mahamantra, they became free from nervous tension. They became tolerant. They became patient. They became aligned, and they could become more alert, and many good qualities come by this chanting. It takes you just about 10 minutes only. You can chant in a park, you can chant in your room, you can chant in the morning or in the evening or night also, you can chant any time of the day. It's a very beautiful, sweet mantra. And Srila Prabhupada in New York, under the sacred tree, he sat and sang this mantra only. And many hippies came and joined. At that time, some of the hippies were close to death because of extreme drug addiction. But by chanting this mantra, they could give up all their bad habits. So some of you may be eager to cultivate some good habits. You may find it difficult, but when you chant, you get the determination to give up bad habits and pick up good habits. So this mantra is very easy to remember. How many of you can remember it easily? Full mantra, you know it now by heart? Very good. So this is the chanting I showed you. That was the C1 I showed you, chanting. And just the 2 slides to go, we'll conclude it. Proven method. Yeah. Gives boundless happiness. Even Valmiki was given a mantra, Mara Mara, correct now? By chanting Ram Ram Ram, he became holy sage he became. So sound is the subtlest element. And when you use this mantra to chant, man means mind, tra means freedom. So it gives freedom to your mind. Actually, some of you who are from electronics, you will know there's a flip-flop switch, you know. Right now, your mind is connected to some worry. When you chant, you cut off this connection and take it here. So you are hearing. So you cut from the worry. That's actually, if you are chanting with attention, you can very easily remove your connection to worries. Why to spend our time as worry time instead of make it a holy time? And it purifies the mind and elevates your mind also. Makes your heart blossom with love. So, see, this is a verse from Bhagavatam which says, Yan nama shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmalaha. Which means nama shruti matrena. By hearing the mantra, puman bhavati nirmalaha. Heart becomes nirmal, pure, he says. And the diet is the food. See, in one Upanishad it is said there are 3 things that happens when you eat food. One part of the food becomes stool and urine. Another part of the food, turns into blood and pumped by the heart to all parts of the body. But the third part goes to your consciousness. If you eat the food cooked by devotees with love and offered to the Lord with love, that food actually is sanctifying and purifying and calming. It brings out many good qualities in you. But if you eat out in a hotel, then the business mentality comes in you. If the hotel fellow is selfish, then you also become selfish by that food. So therefore, and also in the temple, in our temple, we cook sattvic prasadam. So when you eat that, you become more calm, cool, collected, and creative and innovative when you eat this type of sattvic prasadam. Yeah. It's Lord's grace on us. The last thing, engagement, seva engagement. Arjuna was a warrior, so Lord told him to fight the battle. Even a squirrel could be engaged in Lord Rama's service in making the Setu bridge, isn't it? So everybody can serve according to one's capacity. See here, if you're a student, you can study for Krishna and get good marks. If you're a computer specialist, you can make posters and softwares for Krishna's program. App, you can make apps. If you're a singer, you can sing for the pleasure of the Lord. If you're a cook, you can cook nice items and offer to Krishna and distribute to prasadam to devotees. If you're a decorator, you can decorate the temple hall. So in this way, we can use your talents in doing, as shown in the picture, many things you can show. So this is the last slide. It's a short 5-minute clip of Srila Prabhupada. And with this, we will conclude the
Bharatvarsha, India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's greatest mystics. Thus, 50 years ago, in 1965, this rarefied essence was carried by a compassionate 70-year-old saint, Srila Prabhupada, to the shores of the Western world. Embarking on this difficult transatlantic voyage, experiencing 2 heart attacks on his 38 days aboard, this embodiment of India's sacred teachings set out alone with an impossible wish to spark a revolution of the individual heart, to fill it with purpose in a world of uncertainty, with joy in times of difficulty on an international scale. This gift was the teachings of Bhagavad-Gita as it has been practiced for millennia, as it is, along with its original Vedic Krishna conscious culture. By his character and his compassion, Srila Prabhupada's systematic and scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness penetrated the very hearts of all those who heard him.
In America, in September 1965, my mission is to preach the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And within a mere 3 years of his arrival, a genuinely international society, ISKCON, manifested globally inspiring teachings of Indian A. Arts, such as painting, music, instruments, and exhibitions. B. Books, particularly his magnum opus, the literary and intellectual jewel, Srimad Bhagavatam. C. Cuisine, the entire suite of exotic Indian vegetarian preparations, mastered by generations of cooks and enthusiastically embraced by boys and girls over the standard cow flesh, alcohol, drugs, coffee, tea, and even the onion and garlic. D. Dressing, men with dhoti kurta, women in saris, all with tilak. E. Etiquettes, respect to elders, the saintly, and to God. F. Following the cultural pathway, Sanskriti, for example, introducing the sanctity of Vedic marriage with all its duty and its commitment. G. A God-centric program establishing a closer relationship with the Lord in the form of exquisite deity worship, performed communally with kirtan, distribution of Mahaprasad, and worship. H. A healthy lifestyle with regulation such as rising early in the morning and pure habits such as bathing upon rising. I. Indian ethics, establishing the value from scriptures such as Ramayana and Mahabharata of a life filled with perseverance, tolerance, and humility over personal appearance, education, and wealth. J. Jolly dancing in kirtans to worship the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's teachings were centered on the essence of India's wisdom, that the constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or as he called it, the great chant for deliverance, was capable of revolutionizing the world.
If you kindly become Krishna conscious and chant and dance in ecstasy, emotional love of God, the whole world will follow you and it will be Vaikuntha, there will be no more trouble. Thank you very much.
His gifts to India included 3 major centers of culture and education in 1. Bombay, the economic capital of India. 2. Vrindavan, India's foremost place of worship. And 3. Sriram Mayapur, ISKCON's international headquarters. Srila Prabhupada's unprecedented achievements have created an imperishable legacy. Their magnitude is understood only in terms of how the world has changed since his arrival on Western shores. Indians are now valued not only for their technical competence, but also for their character, their holistic culture, and their loving devotion to the Lord. Today, his students form a body of world-class spiritual leaders to carry on Srila Prabhupada's mission of compassion. Truly, India has regained its position as a genuine beacon of light for the entire world, for generations to come, especially with the construction of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium.
Yeah. I've written a short poem with which I conclude, okay? Oh my Lord, true beauty, but I am so very naughty to forget your eternal loving service. To venture into thrills, turning into perils, it's Maya's abode, nothing but a jail. Skin deep material beauty withers away quickly, it's nothing more than water in the mirage. O Lord, my true master, with such a sweet nature, our eternal relation is such an ananda. Let me purify my heart and glorify my Lord with my body, mind, words, and soul. In times of despair and times of weather fair, I will never leave your soothing shelter. Chanting your holy names, praising your divine fame, I will bring all suffering souls to thy feet. To the world of mirth and merry, free from any worry, I will bring them into your holy company. Understand the meaning of this? Thank you. So we have concluded the 4 sessions. So you all heard about those 4 things. The body is not all in all. What exists? Soul exists. This one life is not all in all. Many more lifetimes exist. And the material world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. And we are not all in all. There is a God in control. So I told you the entire summary of Gita in 4 letters, G-I-T-A. So who remembers G? God. God is in control. We are not the only ones. There is a God in control, G. And I for identity. And what is our identity? I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. And T for transmigration. That the soul is changing body, one body to another. From leaving one body, going to second body, third body. The purpose of transmigration is God is putting us through multiple bodies to give us opportunity to become purer and purer and purer. When we become completely 100% pure, we go back to the spiritual plane from where we have come. So that is transmigration. And A for aim of life, about which we saw today. So those 3 impurities have to be purified. Everybody is thinking they want to increase their proprietorship. You can see at one time this Great Britain had gone all over the world, correct now? They had occupied so many places. Later on it became Small Britain. Great Britain became Small Britain later on. So you will see the tendency for increasing proprietorship, controllership over other. Hitler controlled 10 million Jews, killing them. So actually, those who are godly will give up these 3 impurities by chanting the holy name. Proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership. Understanding God is the owner of everything. I am only a custodian. God is the master of everyone, and I am only a servant. So in this way, the right consciousness becomes awakened by chanting Hare Krishna, studying the literature. So my humble request to all of you, this was a 4-part seminar, 4 sessions we did. In the last 3 days we did. Today is the 4th day. After this, we have Onkar Prabhu here. Rahul Prabhu, Onkar, both can come here and stand here. So there are 2 mentors who teach the boys, and there is one lady mentor also. There is our... So this is Ramchand Prabhu. Actually, he studied in his NIT Warangal in India. After that, he did his doctorate in Kanpur, IIT Kanpur, and then now in Harvard, he did his postdoctoral fellowship. So after his Harvard, you are working now, right? He took up a job now, and that is Omkar. He's a student of Northeastern University. He's doing his master's in Northeastern University. He's in second year now, going to second year, I think now. So they both are actually chanting 16 rounds. They are teachers for many years, actually. They have been, just like I am giving classes, they also give many classes, beautiful classes. And they are residents of this temple. They stay here. Of course, he has a family. His wife and 2 kids, they are living close to temple. So they come regularly here. And Omkar is a bachelor. But so they both are actually currently teachers here. And Varamali Panit was here also. It will take some time. Okay. His wife also, both probably. So the president of this temple and his good wife, they live in this temple, and he is working in an IT company also. That is a great surprise for me. How he is able to manage his job in IT company, still living in the temple, taking care of the deities and taking care of so many guests who come here. And you saw the small boy, Gopal is here. Gopal, you can come and stand here on behalf of your parents. He is the president's son, Gopal. In which standard, Gopal? Which grade you are in?
I'm in grade 3.
He's in grade 3, yeah. Very intelligent boy. So his mother gives classes for the ladies. Also weekly one she takes also. So all of you are most welcome to connect. I am sure you might have given your name and email address and phone number, correct? In case you haven't, there is a facility for them to put up there. And then you'll get invitations to come. And it is an opportunity for you. In human life, you can understand the subject. Otherwise, you can't. Now you have the golden opportunity. I know that the life is pretty busy for all of you, but life would be more meaningful for you if you receive this knowledge on a regular basis. Otherwise, everybody is busy in this world to run from pillar to post to make money and collect the goods. But what are we doing all this for? Ultimately, what do we want to achieve in life? We all want to be happy ultimately. But this knowledge will lead you to everlasting happiness in this life and in the next life also. So, he's coming? In 1 minute he's coming. Mata is also coming?
Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah. Your parents are coming. Let them come. Yeah. They're coming in a minute or so. Anybody has one question? Some of you have come for the first time, I believe, isn't it? You can raise your hand, some of you. Okay. You are a student of Northeastern University?
I'm from Boston University. Today is actually my birthday and my exams got over just yesterday. That's why.
Good. She spent her birthday in the best way, coming to temple. That's very good. That's nice. Yeah. And there was one more hand up, I saw. Yeah. Yes, yours.
I work at a study of Northeastern.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. So, madam, you have come for the first time today. You are welcome regularly. You can come. Every Sunday we have.
This is actually my second time.
The second time.
I was here before for another program.
Okay.
Saket.
Who is? Saket?
This is my first time. I study at Northeastern.
Okay. You are in MS.
Regulatory.
Okay. So one question was there. Who had a question? Yeah, please give them. Yeah. Mr. Jacob has come for the first time also.
Second time.
Second time. We've been once before. Okay. Yeah.
Probably you mentioned that so Lord Krishna is in our hearts. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. And we face challenges. We face challenges like Arjuna also faced challenges.
Correct.
Right? Arjuna had the very good fortune of having Lord Krishna as his charioteer.
Correct.
How do we realize the Lord Krishna that is inside our heart can lead
That
us?
starts
How do
with.
we align ourselves, as you say?
Correct. 2 things. One is you need to be clear about what you are searching for also. Like if I'm searching for diamond, I have to go to diamond market. No, you don't go to your vegetable market and search for diamond. So we have to have some idea of what God is and what a guru is supposed to be. Because there are so many people in the name of spiritual leaders nowadays. They are giving many mundane things, material things. So if you're looking, Guru's main duty is to take you from this world to the spiritual world. That is the main duty of Guru. He's like a boat which takes you from this world to that world. So once you're clear about that, the Guru should actually take me closer to God. Then you identify a mentor or a teacher whom you are deeply inspired by. Like Prabhupada is actually Guru of this moment. And then his disciples are now currently running the moment now. And then we are their disciples. Like I am a grand disciple of Prabhupada. So we all are teaching. So as you come across many teachers, you will see that you take education regularly from a teacher. So you have the sacred scriptures and the teachers. From there you get guidance. But as time proceeds, then the inner super soul will get awakened. Then inner direction and outer direction will become same for you. You will see that whatever direction Guru is giving, that will come from inside also. So Guru is like an amplifier of the super soul. You will understand that. All right. What was your question, Jack? Yeah.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my question. So the video said that you have to exclusively worship Lord Krishna, right? But does that mean that Krishna is the only God, or does that he's the only one worthy of worship?
Actually, God, when you say God is only one person ultimately. You can call him by different names. Just like, for example, your sun can be called by multiple names. Surya, Suraj, Dinakar, Bhaskar, Ravi. Many names you call him. Hindi, Sanskrit, different languages. Like the water is one substance. You call water by different names in different languages. Similarly, God is only one. Ultimately, you call him Jehovah, or you call him Allah, you call him Krishna, Rama. Different religions call him by different names, but the person is only one. And also, different religions realize him also to different extents. That is why there seems to be difference. Like for example, somebody recognizes only God as a great personality. So there is fear, desire, duty, love, 4 platforms. In fear platform, people think of him as a great personality, that's all. In desire platform, they think of him as an order supplier. And in duty platform, they think he's a father and we are his children, it's our duty to worship him. But in love platform, you can see him like a friend. You can see him as your own child, or you can see him as a lover. So there are different relationships one can have with God. That's the most advanced platform where, just like I told you, Prime Minister in the Parliament and Prime Minister at home. So Prime Minister at home, there can be intimate relationships. He has a mother, he has brother, he has sister, he has his wife. So then the relationships are more intimate there. So the true religion ultimately should take us to intimate relationship with God actually. And there is nothing beyond that. Love is the last word in transcendence, pure love. So religion motivated by fear is not that great. Fear, like somebody teaches us repent or burn, that's not a very great thing. Beyond that is desire. Motivated by desire, God will give me whatever I want, going to him for that. Beyond that is duty, sense of duty. But beyond duty is love. So in the platform of love, you simply want to please him and serve him. You don't want anything from him. He wants to give you a lot, but you don't ask him. Just like, for example, this small boy, you saw him. His needs are taken care by parents. He doesn't have to ask the parents. Without even his asking, they will arrange his uniform, they will arrange his shoes, everything they will arrange. So God is already arranging for everything we need. We just need to recognize our relationship with him and love him. So, and that's what Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they very elaborately teach that. And that love is awakened by knowing his personality, his qualities, his past, his activities. So those are all given in a very elaborate way in the scriptures. So the way how he deals with his children, when you read that way, we will be moved to tears when we read the scriptures, the way he deals. For example, in Bible, God as a father and we as a children is nicely explained in the Bible. So people develop reverence for him as a master. So beyond master-servant relationship, we don't get much beyond that. Whereas when you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, you come to understand how he deals with his friends, equal friends, and how God deals with his parents, Yashoda and Nanda, how he deals with his lovers, like for example, Radharani, how he deals with Radharani and other gopis. So these are all more intimate relationships with God. So therefore, different religions approach God into different levels of depth of understanding. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And this is the president of our temple here, Anavali Pandit Prabhu, and his good wife, Mataji, can also stand up there. So she takes many programs for the girls, the weekend she takes. Prabhuji also takes classes on Saturday, Sundays he takes. So if you all have registered your name, they will connect you. Correct, Prabhu? Today many of them have come. One girl has come on her birthday today, first time. I mean, she's come for darshan today. Yeah, so it was very nice. Many of the church. I'm sorry to delay all of you. Now there is dinner prasad waiting for all of you, right? Yeah. And also all the online devotees who joined the last 4 days. Thank you for joining us. And there's one hand up of Sam. Yes, Sam, you want to say something?
Yes, I have a question, Prabhu.
Yeah, quick.
My question. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
I can hear you, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah.
I have a question. What's the difference between chanting and praying? Should I ask Krishna, give me bread, give me money, give me this, give me that, or should I just chant? Because some people, praying, I would not know what to ask Krishna. So should I just go ahead and chant all my
Actually,
life?
you can pray to Krishna that Krishna, somehow or other by mistake I have come to this world. Please take me back to you and purify my heart and let me love you, let me serve you, let me become your faithful and honest servant, and let me not hurt your children, other living beings around me, and let me deal with them respectfully. Let me cultivate all good qualities, and also you become my inner compass and guide me. What is the right path? What is wrong path? What path I should take? My desire is to serve you. Although my mind is polluted and it is dragging me down to indulging in sinful activities, I beg you to give me the strength to give up the sinful activities and walk the virtuous path. So this kind of prayer we can offer to him. Is it all right?
Yes, Prabhu. One more question.
Yeah.
Why do demigod worshippers, if the demigods are devotees of Krishna, why do demigod worshippers not go to Krishna? Why do they continue worshipping demigods and they don't read Bhagavatam? If the demigods are devotees, so why don't they just surrender to Krishna?
Krishna himself says in Bhagavad-Gita, Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. He says that the demigod worshippers want only material goods, and they know that if you go to demigods, you can quickly get it. So they go to demigods, but the demigods will give them without purifying their heart. Therefore, they will take those goods and damage themselves. For example, when I was in my school days, a small boy, opposite of a school, there was one sweet they will be selling. Generally, which will be surrounded by flies. Many children will go and buy. My mom told me that you should never buy that sweet and eat. I will tell her that other children are buying. I used to say, she will say, no, you should not buy and eat that. I would say, just 1 rupee it is. She will say, no, I will take it to a shop and buy a 5 rupee, toffee for you. But you should not buy this 1 rupee. Although it is cheap one, it will harm you. So parents will always be concerned about your health. They will even spend more money to give you some eatable, but not something very cheap and which is harmful to you. Whereas a shopkeeper, what he will do, if you go to him, you pay 1 rupee, he'll give you. He doesn't care about your health. So demigods are like that. Demigods, you go and ask them, here is the money, please give me the goods, they'll give you. Without purifying your heart, they'll give you and you will damage yourself. Whereas when you go to Krishna, first he will purify your heart. Make sure that you don't misuse it. Like Dhruva Maharaj went to Krishna. First Krishna purified Dhruva Maharaj's heart. Then he gave him Dhruva Loka after that. So those who go to Krishna are very fortunate because demigods not only are devatas, they include even the political leaders, Prabhupada says. Cricketers, political leaders, all the cinema stars are also included in demigods. Why? Because people have fan following, you know that? People actually make some hero and they follow in this world as a fan for some time. Some politicians have their followers who want a seat from them. Therefore, they also canvass for them, hoping that someday they will give me a seat also. Similar demigod worshippers are people who, pamper the demigods with some goods like Hiranyakashipu did for Brahma. Their goal is not to please demigod. Their goal is to get something out of them. They are interested in their pockets, not in them. Whereas those who go to Krishna, for example, Sudama went to Krishna. He loved Krishna. He didn't want anything from Krishna. So we should learn from Sudama how we should, or Prahlad Maharaj, or Ambarish Maharaj, what type of devotee we should be. Is that all right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And it will become more clear if you send me a mail. I will send you an article and a link of a lecture. I will give you my email here. Just 1 minute. I'll put it in chat. I can put it. Okay. If you write to me, I'll send you one. This, if you send me a mail, I will send you an article and one link. We can hear that. It will make the demigod subject very clear. No? Yeah. So there are some emails and numbers you can note. You're not in a problem. Yeah. So you want to say a few words, Prabhu? Where is the mic? You finished the course, 4th session course today. Finished.
So there is one more Mataji. So online, I think Gitu Mataji, if she can introduce herself.
Gitu Mataji, yeah?
Yes.
Should I mute here?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So with that, there is Tu Mataji, who's online for the first time. Do you want to introduce? Because this course is not ending today, even though, formally we are trying to close this session today. I mean, today is the last session. But however, we would like to the ongoing sessions, and we would like to invite all the devotees after this program. So this is not the end. This should be at the beginning of the sessions for understanding the teachings of the Bhagavad-Gita. So that is why we would like to have everybody's email ID and phone number, and those also who are here. So that's one of our intentions. So after this, there are more sessions which are coming up, and of course, we would like to have you for all those programs.
There's a special course called as GAIN, we call it. It's called as Gita for All Made Easy, which is conducted from next week onwards.
Yes. Yeah.
It will be next week, once in a week. And you will learn many things. In the same manner we teach, the same way as we have been teaching this course. Similar manner, once in a week. Of course, he teaches Omkar Ram Singh Prabhu and also Martha. So, please make sure that all the ideas are involved.
Yes, definitely. So today we'll meet all together. I think we have all people here. So while having food, we can chat together, and we'll discuss about the future programs.
Today we chanted the Santani chant. One round we chanted. And if any of you are confident that every day you will chant one round, you can take the mala with you. Who are confident every day at least one round you will chant? So confident? Very good. Very good. That's wonderful. And you also sure. But you have mala with you, all of you. Those of you who can chant, you can take it. And those of you who feel that no, I am not take confidence, then they will give back the mala. And then you can take on whenever they are ready, you can do that. Actually, it's going to just take 10 minutes. So it's going to be a big difference. You will see that it's like shopping in the shop, not like shopping in the dress every day. You will feel very blessed all day. Thank you.
Thank you. He's actually and that is the I'm actually here, and he's being in this honor. So I take this opportunity and express my deepest gratitude to Radheshyam, who has been spearheading this whole program and all the activities here, directly, indirectly. Yeah, and he is the spiritual force behind all this thing. And it is a great fortune for all of us to have him here and speak on this particular topic. Is one of the very well-revered, well-known all over the world. Is the country president of one of the most thriving temples in all over India. That's Pune. And they have made thousands and thousands of young students into monks and
future leaders, and they are spread all over the world. And I am one of the recipients of that message. So on behalf of all those students for whom we have graduated, I express my gratitude to them, and also the honor of them who have taken this on your behalf of the so please express our thanks to him by loudly chanting Hari Bol in a traditional way. Please. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! And all those who are also online. So, on your behalf, we'd like to thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so he's offering a flute. Please come ahead and
So one last announcement. Those who have come for the first time, we have in reception one devotee sitting. So if you want to continue with the programs, please do give us your email ID. Thank you so much.
It's just like the outward of the cave, where the cave is, except it's the shadows. We see the shadows of the light, we don't see the real thing. It's just like that. You blew my mind. Yeah. It's actually the Yeah.